and this is Ms. Heidi's sixth period statistical investigation on Montebello High School's bell schedule.
In this study, our goal was to analyze what students of MHS would think about our bell schedule and see if we could entertain the thought of changing it.
Hi, my name is Allison. I'm a part of the presentation team, and for this project, we had to separate each student into 5 separate groups. So the first 2 being the managers and the presentation team. The managers were Jaslet Nava and Anisa Roman, and the presentation team included myself, Luis Pacheco, Naomi Aguirre, and Heidi Quinio. I'm Naomi Aguirre. The presentation team. Our data acquisition team was in charge of gathering our data, and the members are Daisy Acevedo, Angel Barragan, Lina Ambrosio, and Joseph Serla. And our data analysis team was in charge of breaking down and analyzing our data. The members are Luis Machuca, Amy Sanchez, Alyssa Alvarenga, and Emily Funes Santos.
Hi, my name is Heidi. I'm from presentation team. This is the research group from Oscar Mendez, Alisa Mechaca, Abigail Mateo, and Jimmy Jimenez.
Hi, my name is Luis Pacheco. I'm also from the research group. And for creating the survey, we first started off by getting together and researching information before coming up with our questions. We then created the survey and started gathering data, and then documented all of our total responses, and lastly, organized our data.
Hi, my name is Jamie Jimenez. I'm a part of the research group. And what we're going to look at next is the district research. First, we're going to start off with El Rancho Unified School District. So out of the 2 high schools in the district, El Rancho High School scored the highest in math and English. But it's important to note that Salazar is a continuation school. So the next thing we looked at was the schedules. El Rancho has a 6-period schedule Mondays and Fridays, and Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays are block schedule, and Salazar has 8 periods daily, but Wednesday is minimum day.
Abigail, I'm part of the research team, and what we found out about the Downey Unified School District is that the average class duration for Warren High School is 89 minutes, for Downey High School is 78 minutes, and for Columbus High School is 50 minutes. What we also found out is that all high schools scored higher in English than in math. For Warren High School, they have longer periods but less classes that last more than an hour. And for Downey High School, they have a mixed schedule of block and regular schedule. And for Columbus High School, they have a regular schedule of 6 periods. What we also found out about Roland Unified School District is that Roland and Nogales High School have the same average class duration of 54 minutes. And for Santa Ana High School, they have an average class duration of 44 minutes. They also scored lower in math than in English, and their schedules have a regular schedule of 6 periods.
Hi, I'm Oscar Mendez, and I am also part of the research group team. What we found from the Whittier Unified School District is that the 8 class duration that of these high schools, that is that Arizona High School has a class duration of 50 minutes. California High School has 99 minutes of their class duration. Pioneer High School has 98 minutes for class duration, and Whittier High School has 97 minutes of their class duration. All of their English scores are higher, around with 60 through 70, through 62 through 70, 80. Their math scores are around low by 20, by the 20s, by 40s, and each schedule has a block schedule and everything else. Now moving on to LAUSD, which sorts for Los Angeles Unified School District, is that Torrance High School has a class duration of 65 minutes. Garfield High School has a class duration of 78 minutes, and Roosevelt High School has a class duration of 80 minutes. They all have the highest scores in English, while some have the lowest in math. Torrance's schedule has a 6-period class a day on Mondays with 46 minutes, and they have a 6-period class, 6 classes a day from Tuesdays to Fridays with 58 minutes. Garfield High School has a four period day on Monday and Thursdays with 90 minutes, and they have a 8 period schedule on Tuesdays, and they have a 5 through 8 period schedule on Wednesday and Fridays with 90 minutes, and with Russellville High School having with a 4 period day schedule on Mondays through Fridays, along with 83 minutes, and with a adversary period with 23 minutes.
My name is Lucy Chaka. I'm part of the research team, and we found out that the Alhambra Unified School District is a Montebello average class duration is 56 minutes, San Diego is 66 minutes, and Alhambra is 67 minutes. And for schedules, Montebello follows the 8 period schedule, San Diego follows the traditional 6 period schedule with late starts on Fridays, and Alhambra follows the 7 period schedule on Mondays and Fridays, and 5 period schedule on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And all these schools, they all have high scores in English. And for the Montebello Unified School District, we found out that the average class duration for all 5 high schools ranges from 54 to 56 minutes, and they all follow the traditional 6 period schedule, and they all also have higher scores in English. And for the overall analysis of neighboring schools, we researched the SPAC scores, average class duration, class size, college and career readiness, and many more. These are our scatter plots based on the average class duration of these schools and their SPAC performances. And as you can see, the longer the classes are, the more they tend to be in the higher percentage.
Hi, my name is Luis Machuga. I'm part of the data analysis team, and for this one, we had a total of 354 participants in our survey, and the next few slides are going to be our questions that they had to answer. For this one, we asked them to input their GPA by logging into the Power School in order to see if our bell schedule had any effect on their GPA in any way. The average GPA of a Montebello High School student is 2.9. The total number is, of course, 354. The standard deviation, if we look further into this, shows us that our data points are 0.86 units away from the average. By using the box plot analysis, our outlier is 0, which is basically the minimum, which is also the minimum GPA of the students. By using the empirical rule analysis, it shows right here from all the 3 tiers that none of them have passed, and because of that, we have 18 outliers based on value because none of them passed, which also tells us our data is not normally distributed.
Hi, I'm Daisy Acevedo with the Data Acquisition Team. This question is asking what grade students are currently in. Looking at the graph, we can see that the most surveyed students were seniors with 124 responses, but they won't be affected unlike 9th through 11th graders that make up 66% of people surveyed.
Hello, my name is Amy, and I was on data analysis. We asked MHS students how many Ds or Fs do you currently have, and the average answer was 1. Our standard deviation shows that the data points are about 1.37 units away from the mean. Our buckle analysis shows that our outlier is 6 based on location, and our empirical rule analysis shows that there are 26 outliers based on value. And because the last 2 tiers did not pass, our data is not normally distributed. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Joseph Serta. I'm part of the data acquisition team, and here we have students. How easy is it to finish classwork in 1 period? Over 59% of students picked neutral, which shows that it was neither hard nor difficult for them to complete it within the period. 12% of students picked either very hard, while 29% of students picked very easy or easy. Now with this research, what it tells us is that students believe that they have enough time to finish the classwork within the period. But with an intervention period, we're able to help students if they actually do need it.
Hi, my name is Alyssa, and I'm part of the data analysis team. We asked students at MHS how many days out of the week are you absent, and we found our average to be 0.37 days. Our standard deviation showed us that our data points were 0.65 units away from our average. When we did our box plot analysis, we found that 4 is our outlier based on location, and our empirical rule analysis showed us that there are 15 outliers based on value. And because one of our tiers did not pass, our data is not normally distributed.
Hi, my name is Angel and I'm part of the data acquisition team. And what we asked students here is to make up work when absent. And 39% of the students reported that they feel neutral, which means that the difficulty could depend on the subject of the teacher. And 36% of students reported that they feel it is challenging or very challenging, which means that over 1/3 of our data pool currently has difficulties in making up their absent work. And based on this information, we can see that an intervention schedule would be preferred because that allows students to get extra time, help, and resources on a subject they currently struggle.
We asked MHS students how long they believe a period should be, and our average answer was 50.10 minutes. Our standard deviation showed us that the data points tend to be 14.06 units away from the mean, and our box plot analysis showed us that our minimum was 40 minutes, and our outlier and maximum based on location is 150 minutes. Our empirical rule analysis showed us that there are 15 outliers based on value, and that our data is not normally distributed because all but one tier did not pass.
My name is Peter Ambrosio. I'm part of the data acquisition team. We asked, what responsibilities do you have after school? 37% of the students surveyed chose classwork as a responsibility, and 25% of students chose school programs such as sports and clubs as a responsibility, and 25% of students answered taking care of the family as a responsibility. The intervention schedule can be used to help students to give them more time or help to finish assignments.
This slide is asking how do you feel about staying before or after school to get academic support. You can see that 170 students voted as very helpful, while 80 voted that it's neutral, and 66 voted not helpful.
Our next question is, how do you feel about getting academic support during school hours? 76.55 responded that they felt supportive. 11.58 thought it was unnecessary, and 4.52 felt unsure about it, and 7.34 felt neutral about it. Some of our student responses are, makes sense and it is accessible, but it clashes with the schedule.
Project review. Challenge encountered. During the data collection process, some challenge we encountered were dishonesty, not finding enough participants, getting responses from our targeting audience, from taking a survey. During the making of the Google form, some challenge we encountered were creating questions, lack of motivation, and lack of communication.
Okay, so for our project's conclusion, we came up with 3 conclusions. Based on our data, most students have at least one class they have a D or F in. Schools with smaller class sizes have more test score advantages. And last and most importantly, what I think is highly encouraged is a change to our school bell schedule, and that it is necessary in order for it to be a solution to better our students' test scores and GPA.
So for the next steps that would better our student test scores or overall performance would be educators to develop and implement block intervention schedules, establish intervention system that allows for student adversity. Oh yeah, adversity, I'm so sorry about that. And
Advocacy.
Advocacy, I'm so sorry. And increase enrichment elective courses if the 7th through 8th period schedule is achieved.
Based on our conclusion, our recommendations are continuing to establish academic support before and after school to meet student needs. We also recommend enforcing mandatory tutoring with students that have one or multiple DRFs in their classes, and considering intervention or block schedule to make sure that student grades improve.
What worked for us was working as a team to get things done faster. What didn't work was only working with our groups because we couldn't communicate. And what we need to improve on is our communication and our time management during these projects.
Thank you, and we hope this presentation helps give a better understanding of how the current bell schedule affects students at MHS.
Thank you.